Everyone, long time no see. I just wanted to pop in and do a really quick video. So this is going to be a short one. I'm always hesitant these days to review big movies because I feel like if it's a big movie like The Suicide Squad, by the time I'm reviewing it, there are a million other videos, and so some reviews I thought would do really well, they have only got like 10 views because everyone else has covered them. But I just wanted to share a few thoughts about The Suicide Squad, which I hate saying that title because then my sibilance is really noticeable. I'm just going to call it that movie. But I saw the movie. It just wasn't for me. If you like horror movies, like really gory horror movies, it's the movie for you. For me, it's kind of like I love Toy Story 3, but I'm not going to recommend to like some of my friends they should go see Toy Story 3 because I know they're not really into that. Well, same with this movie. I recognize that it's a well-made film, but it's just not quite for me. I've seen other people be like, wow, can you believe the way so-and-so died? Or by that shot, but oh, did you see the gore? That just is not for me. Now, from a story, let's talk about the story. I about wish it was PG-13 just so I could focus more on the story. The story's good, it's solid, written by James Gunn, solid writer, even great writer sometimes. But then another thing, it's just so mean-spirited that I couldn't get into it. Now, again, for a lot of people, that's not going to be a problem. If you like horror movies, if you like movies that kind of have a darker sense of humor, yeah, check, you'll love this movie. I recognize it's a well-made film, and I even know people I would recommend it to, but for me, I don't know when I'll watch this again. I'm sure I will sometime, but it just wasn't a film that I will personally revisit a whole lot. So for me, recognizing it's a well-made film, just not one for me, I would give The Suicide Squad 2.5 out of 4 stars. The next movie is Free Guy. I love this film. A non-playable character, he becomes self-aware in the video game and he wants to become more than a non-playable character, and so he becomes the hero of this game. And meanwhile, in our world, everybody's watching this develop, and the Free Guy, the titular character played by Ryan Reynolds, he becomes this cultural phenomenon, and the game's developers are like, what the heck, you know? So I love the story. I love the humor, great jokes, great acting. Ryan Reynolds, he's Ryan Reynolds. You know what you're going to get from that performance. It's Deadpool without the suit. But that works. That works fine for this. He's doing a good job here. Does a great job. I think her name is Jodie Comer. Does a fantastic juggling between this kind of a young woman who is a video game developer in our reality, but then in the video game she's really is my mom watching this? Can I curse? I better not. I'll just say a bad A. And the way she switches accents, man, most actors would kill for how well she switches accents in this movie to be able to do that. What did I not like? Taika Waititi as the villain. I've heard people say he steals the show. I've heard people say he's the worst thing about this movie. Therein is the catch, because he's playing an annoying character. That's the character, an overbearing, annoying villain, and he nails it. So you can't say, well, he annoyed me. Okay, well, that was the point of the character. But again, I get if you don't like the character, because yeah, he is a bit much. Taika Waititi, he lays it on pretty thick. And again, for this character, I loved it. I had a hoot with the character. I had a hoot? Gee. But anyway, I liked it. And then also, there's a cameo. No spoilers. There's a cameo in the film. I have not heard a theater erupt that loudly since Tony Stark's big moment in Avengers Endgame. I'm just going to say, wow. Yeah. But I also fear that cameo and the big reaction to that cameo is going to make Disney think, oh, okay, well, we need to do that 10 times more in the sequel. I don't know. I'm afraid the sequel is already... because the first movie is so anti-franchise, I don't know. How do you do a sequel and it not seem hypocritical? But anyway, or contradictory to the message of the first film. Free Guy, I would give it 3 out of 4 stars. So those are my thoughts on a couple of the movies. I'm going to try to get back to reviewing more regularly. Honestly, guys, I know my setup's kind of dull compared to 99.9% of other YouTubers, and that kind of, when I come home after a long day, work all day, put the kids to bed, do whatever needs doing, and then I'm like, is anybody out there, are they finding these videos interesting? Is anybody like really, or am I just talking to walls here? And it kind of gets in my head a little bit. And then, like I said, the reviews, I know a million other people have already reviewed Free Guy and the Suicide Squad. I was this close, this tempted to just making the video about talking about the new re-releases of the Jack Frost movies. No, not the Michael Keaton when I'm talking about the horror movie. Because I look at those covers and I'm like, that's different. That's a lot different than how I would imagine the cover. Okay, all right, cool. You compare it to the covers for the original covers for the Jack Frost movies. And man, as a kid, I got, what did I say earlier? I had a hoot? I had a hoot walking by the covers for the Jack Frost movies, their first releases, the VHSs, when I was a little kid, because I would always stop and be like, I remember, why am I going off on this tangent? I'll never forget as a kid, just one really quick story talking about the Jack Frost movies. I'll never forget as a kid, I went to a video rental store. A guy walks in, just a really, kind of, you could tell he wasn't more than likely he wasn't a family movie type. He wasn't there to rent Meet the Deedles, So he comes in there and he's like, I'm looking for Jack Frost. And they gave the guy the Michael Keaton one. And it turned out that he wanted the scary one, the horror movie. I wish it had been the other way around, where like a little kid had come in and they had given, but yeah, that would have been mean. Thanks for watching, guys. If you love to hear me ramble, just hit that subscribe button, follow me on Twitter, link in the description. Appreciate you watching. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.